So the second track on the EP is called Boogie Time, and that's the title track of the EP. This is probably the track I've been working on for the longest. Like, if we have a look at this, the folder here, got up to 32 versions in the end, and it looks like I finished it quite a few times, or at least thought I did. Yeah, I started it on 6th of May 2020, and finally finished it a couple of months ago here, July 2021, so a few months ago now. And yeah, this track, I kind of wanted to just create something that was like stood alone as an instrumental, and also kind of like more of a disco glitch hop vibe rather than like a funk thing, which you don't necessarily hear very often. So yeah, the basic premise was to kind of have the first quote unquote drop as like a disco thing with like a 4/4 kick rather than kick and snare, and then switch into the kind of glitch hop kick snare for the main drop. So yeah, rather than just kind of having the standard kind of intro build up into like a drop, kind of having what almost feels like its own drop here at the start, and then going into its own thing here. So yeah, let's have a little listen to that, and you can sort of see what I mean. So yeah, the drums here are much more kind of disco-y with that kind of like straight beat. Some classic disco toms there. And this live bass here, I believe this is from Bass Fingers, that's the one, Waves, Bass Fingers. Again, like the last track, I've flattened all the basses to audio. That tends to be what I do in sort of the end stages of a track, so I can't actually open up the plugin for you, but yeah, Bass Fingers by Waves. I often use Contact, but in this case, yeah, I just was trying to go for something different, and yeah, it just kind of seemed to suit the sound. And yeah, that kind of like octave bass thing is quite disco-y. And obviously there's very little processing on it now because it's flattened, but it did take me a long time to get that sounding good. And yeah, like the last track, there's some guitar parts here that I recorded in myself. Also got this bell thing from Silence. And some Rhodes over the top. It's quite subtle, the Rhodes, really. And yeah, then we've got this quite short little build up here, straight into some filthy kind of neuro glitch hop stuff, very Cohen Sound inspired. Not that I'll ever be anywhere near as good as those guys, but shout out to Cohen Sound. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for with this drop here, so let's have a little listen to that. So yeah, like I said, it kind of switches into like a more traditional glitch hop kind of kick snare pattern, but still very straight, so it's still kind of got that disco-y feel to it. And then it's kind of like, I've kind of spliced it back in with the original disco feel here with these kind of like little bass chops, which also kind of match up with the 80s toms here. So then the kind of disco part kind of works as like a fill, if that makes sense. And yeah, like I said, all these basses are now flattened, but damn did it take me a long time to get them all sitting right. And then yeah, pretty simple middle breakdown, nothing special really, just kind of keeping the vibe rolling. And then we've got a little bit of a switch up at the end. Let's have a listen to that. So yeah, we've got a little James Brown Hey in there, a little cheeky sample, which I'm sure we'll get away with, which is from I Feel Good, I believe. Yeah, more of just kind of a switch up in the kind of musicality at this point. Like, I think that's quite an easy way to create an interesting second drop, is like, rather than, obviously I have switched up a lot of the sounds here, but yeah, kind of focus on how you can change the notes and like change the kind of harmonic focus of it. Like, for example, the first note here, I imagine, is an F on the root note, and then here it kind of goes up a little bit higher. So it kind of feels a bit off, which instantly kind of takes you by surprise and feels a bit dirtier, you know? But yeah, again, quite a simple track, really. Just lots and lots of tweaking on this one. But yeah, I'm really proud of how this turned out, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next video.